Hey everyone, I'm Sean Walker from iTrain Hockey. Look what we've got here. We've got Pavel Barber, and he's going to be teaching us his favorite two Deke moves. So for me, if I'm stepping in one-on-one against a player, one of my favorite moves if I'm stepping in against Pavel is to almost fake like I'm going to the left, and then to separate, I cross over to the right, and then I always exit with 2 or 3 crossovers on that right side just to get that separation factor. And then if that's ever not available, then I like cutting across the body, using my body to protect the puck, and making sure that I'm using my butt to protect and making sure that I'm ripping out as I'm doing a little mohawk with the back turned. And those are my 2 moves.
Solid.
And how about you? Yeah, what are your 2 favorites if you're stepping in one-on-one on a D?
Yeah, I mean, I give a bit of a political answer here. So like for me, again, like everything just being situational, it depends on how much gap you got, whether or not you have a speed advantage, angle of attack, you know, whether they're righty or lefty, how much reach they got, whatever. It depends on a host of factors, but my main thing is come at the angle, come at speed on approach. I teach more approaches than specific moves to use in situations. So my main thing is we want to approach with as much speed as we can if we have that space afforded to us. And we want to attack at an angle just to make the lateral moves a bit more difficult to track. So whenever you come in at an angle, obviously it's like it encourages the defender to move more laterally, respect the fact that you can go fast there.
So instead of me coming in straight on you, I'm coming in just more on that angle.
Yes, if you can. Sometimes you can't, but if you can, I'd rather you do a little C-cut, get on an angle. If you get inside of a crossover, that's fantastic. So like if I'm in a situation like this, there's no one behind me, I have some time and space, and we're like this, and our speed's equal, I would want to either move laterally to that side, get into crossovers, or that side. So basically I would just teach, like, you know, get into a little C-cut, get into an angle, and then attacking like this. And then from this position, we're assessing. There's so many moves you can do, but like my main thing is just like speed on approach, angle of attack, and then we're judging distance, we're judging your momentum, we're judging your foot position. If you ever turn your feet, say you turn that way, any move here, right? So I want to be a threat with speed as much as I can. If all things are equal, no advantage existing, we have to create an advantage. So those are 2 things I always teach is, like, you know, in hockey, if there's an advantage existing, we're reading and reacting. If there's no advantage existing, we have to create an advantage. And that's through anticipation. So I'm going to anticipate my move fools you. So if I'm going to go to one of my moves here, say I go this way, and then everything's equal, I want to just trust that fake works. Right? I can't wait for you to bite or not. The game's too fast when all things are equal at the top levels. I have to trust that move will work. So as I'm making that fake, I'm trusting it'll work. Large portion of the time, one-on-ones just do not go well in terms of like complete separation. If you're operating at like a 20% success rate, you're a god. That's very good. I don't know what McDavid's is, but it's probably around there. It's hard to do that. We just want to get as much middle ice, as much of a good shot off as we can. So that would be my main 2 approaches there is, you know, come on the angle, come at speed, and then we're just assessing the defender as we go in.
So any particular Deke move that I might be teaching to players, I'll say, okay, there's 2 major components that we'll teach no matter what. Number 1 is don't skate straight at the player. And especially for youngsters, a lot of players are just gravitating to what they're focusing on, and that's the D-man. So I like how in that you could have took a step forward and then immediately did the C-cut and changed direction. You're making me think for a second, oh, this is going to be easy, and shoot, now I got to maintain better gap control. I got to change directions on a dime. So never skate straight at the player. Just make them think you're going this way and then cut that way, or vice versa. And then the second thing is go in with speed and exit with speed have always been something that helps with things. Although sometimes changing the tempo, where you go in a little slow and then boom, change directions on a dime.
I love that.
Points to that,
I agree fully. Like, I think top speed is always what we want to get, but a lot of the time speed differentials are the play. I think those are more common at the high level, is kind of doing those variations of speed differentials. So like you just said, as I was coming at you, me just going to you and then to the side. Even though I'm not necessarily like changing speed, I'm not moving to you at the rate at which you were anticipating originally. right? Because I'm taking that angle, now you have to change your speed a little bit, as well as your line of attack defensively, as I open up options for myself coming off those angles, right? There's always more moves coming from the angles than there are coming straight at a player, and the evasive move laterally is always going to be more efficient as we come off those angles as well. So I love your approach there. That's great. So now talking about toe drags, every kid's favorite move, a little bit overused, a lot of times not taught to completion. Like there's many different ways to toe drags, and it depends where you want to get to. My main thing is I want to maximize the amount of blade I have to make contact with this puck. So if I show you this way, I have a P28 curve. So Sean here has a P92. If he grabs it at the toe, this puck here, he'll have to have the heel higher up just because he has a little bit less toe. But we basically want to keep more of the heel close to the ice. That way it doesn't necessarily look like I'm doing a toe drag, so it disguises it more. It also gives me a lot more room for error. So if I do this backhand to forehand, which is common to set up the toe drag, if I miss the toe, I'm still able to catch it there. And like, you know, I've trained it so much, like, you know, now that you can, you know, have more surface area, you can do it with your head up the whole way, grab at that toe, and it's not that difficult if you have more of the blade there.
Easier touches. It's amazing. You'll never miss the puck because so much of it's already, so much of the heel's already on the ice.
Exactly, and it depends where you want to go to. So, you know, if I want to get to, main thing is like with toe drags, I teach like it's like 1, 2, and 3 step, right? So number 1, I want to fake laterally. I want to fake to my forehand again to shift his weight or turn their feet. So I would go backhand to forehand. Now, when I grab it at the toe here, this is where I want to pull it in. Now, it depends how much you need to pull it in. So if you stand in front of me, let's say you're there, I don't need to pull it in that much here, right? I would just need to pull it in kind of there to stay out of stick reach. If I'm like here, you know, probably wouldn't use a toe drag at top speed if we were this close, but if you're like at a standstill, you would have to, you know, like really, really drag it in. So the amount you drag it in matters as well, but it's all going to be situational on the gap that you have. But the main thing I would say on toe drags is just really try and make sure you're getting more of the blade like this, so it really looks like, you know, you could potentially shoot coming out of it.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks like anything. A pass, a deke, or a shot. And, exactly. Or me just bringing it to my forehand.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It just looks like a normal stick handle. It could even look like I'm just going to go wide here, right? If I have a little bit of a speed advantage. I think the best guy at this, Andreas Athanasiou, he does a top speed toe drag probably better than anyone. And he'll do it like, you know, he'll fly in, and as he does it, it's just a quick 1-2, and then he drives in. And it's a tough move to do at top speed like that. But I think a lot of staying in stride, staying moving with the feet, like it's tough. I think a lot of people get it twisted where they think like, no, this is a toe drag.
Right.
And it's like,
heel so high.
It's like it doesn't. That's if I'm like this, the only direction I can go is here, right? So if you have your stick like flat on the ice and it's like this, sure, like maybe that would be the only situation you would use that, and that would be very difficult to do. But more surface area, you know, of the blade on the ice, more options, and then just like as you drag it in, put that heel flat and get it out protected. That's how I would teach the toe drag.
Okay, sweet. How about if you're stepping to the opposite side? Is it more about bottom arm, pulling it in? We still want to be able to protect the puck in the same way. Is there a way that you might go backhand to forehand and cut around me this way, where you could disguise the move, where you could still protect it close to your body? As a righty, if you're faking left and going right, what if you now want to fake right and go left?
So I call it a V drag. So I would go to, it's a backhand heel, and you drive that top hand out, and it's going like this, and then it's pull in and push out. And that's more commonly used, not necessarily in that position, but it can be. But like
in
people
the corners,
use that
on the boards and
on cutback. So if we're going up here and I'm going up the wall, a lot of times you'll see it like this, where they'll pull it in, kind of like that. Instead of added protection, it's really just driving out that top hand
Yeah.
to really, because you have to get it at the heel,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't drive that top hand, it'll slide up the blade,
Right.
whatever it is.
And the V move, that's what you call it?
V-drag, yeah, whatever,
V-drag.
V-move.
Okay.
My thing with names of moves, I don't care, so name it whatever you want, as long as you know the difference between that move and another.
It's kind of funny how like maybe pros have been taught, okay, this is the move that you're going to be pulling, and maybe they have a name to it, but it's guys like us that have to be like, okay, this is called a toe drag from here. And
we have to name it.
Yeah, we have to name it.
But like we don't care
exactly.
what it's named, like whatever. Like I have to discern between that and like if you're going to block this shot.
Yeah.
I call this a toe draw again. Like I don't know why I call it that. I draw it with the toe, I guess. But like having it loaded back here, you go to block it, and then I fake out of it. And
okay, sweet.
That's so different from a toe drag.
Toe drag,
but people think, well, it uses the toe and you're dragging the puck. But it's completely different in application. That's a shot fake where I have it loaded back and it goes forward. This is more of a lateral fake. It can be a shot fake, but this comes from forward backwards. And it's like the opposite.
Yeah, right.
Completely different situation you'd apply in. So that's when, like, when you talk about people using different names of moves, you just got to know the difference in the moves and how they apply in the game with what situation you're in, and then you're solid.
Okay, hockey fans, I hope obviously you enjoyed that video. I'm learning so much from you, Pavel. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Touching areas of just Deke moves that I haven't even ever thought about before. And just thank you for your expertise.
Yeah, you got it, man. Yeah, I think just like with one-on-ones, it's just, situation that you're in and then how well practiced you are within that skill set. Try to practice it enough so that when you are using in games, you are a bit more well practiced. If you're not, I'd wait a bit, work up that skill set a little, work under pressure.
Before moving into a game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the way we learn is always being able to do it slowly, medium speed, top speed, and then in practice, if you're able to do it a little bit on defenders, and then you feel confident, and then it's like, all right, time to test this out in a game. Don't be afraid of failure. We fail more in one-on-ones than any other situation. So,
Yeah, awesome.
Thank
you again, brother.
Yeah, of course, man.